Hello everyone, I am Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at some of the OG Dauntless Trials speedruns. These are going to include runs from both the first rotation and the second rotation of the Trials. And these runs are going to be coming from Cybermessiah, Captain Maelstrom, and Shaanks, all of which are fellow Dauntless partners. Be sure to check them all out if you haven't done so already. And I do have permission from all of these guys to use some of their runs for this video today. And guys, we are closing in on 5,000 subscribers here on the channel, so if you enjoy Dauntless content, do consider subscribing to the channel. Alright guys, so this is the first run we are going to be taking a look at today. We've got the Nezaga trial, the very first one. We've got a trio run coming from Captain Maelstrom. I think this might actually be one of his only group runs on his channel, because he definitely turned towards solos afterward. Now, the first thing that you guys are going to notice here if you play the game today is the HUD. The HUD layout is a lot cleaner today, I would say. Everything from the HP bar, you can actually tell how much HP you have, and you can actually tell what lantern you're using, like, during your run. And then the weapon-specific HUD as well also got a lot smoother. And what you're also going to notice is that they are running full HP builds, and that is very different from the meta today. You are running half HP builds or even lower in ideal circumstances. And that's because Discipline wasn't really a thing back then. I don't think Discipline released until like in the second rotation maybe? I'm not entirely sure, didn't really play back then. But you can see here we're running Aether Drive Tonic with Ember Main Lantern, I believe on all of them. Maybe one of them is running Strike Lantern. I'm not entirely sure. Other thing you're going to notice is like a lot of the stuff is getting stuck on the HUD here. So definitely in a better state today. It's a little bit easier to tell like what is the actual active effect. Like you can tell like looks like this is our captain's grip here. We've got the tonics all right here, and then this is Pred probably, I would say. But then like with all of the things that have gotten stuck on the HUD, like you can't really tell what's going on anymore, comes right here. Okay, we're repotting here because Catalyst and Slayer's Path upgrades and stuff like that did not exist yet to give you longer tonic durations and effectiveness on the tonics. So you can see his teammate already was slapping that ball around. And to do that, you actually had to run Insulated 6. But that did lead to a free overpower uptime. So, you know, Insulated actually did have some use. And right here, you'll notice he's doing the hold heavy combo. I'm not sure if that actually did more damage per second back in the day or not. I feel like there was some reason that was actually not bad back in the day. You can see in this run, Cap is the only one who doesn't take damage, but this is still like a really good group run. By today's standards, it wouldn't be fantastic, but back in the day, for this being the first week of any Dauntless Trials, that's a really good run. So yeah, that's what a Dauntless Trials speedrun looked like on week 1 of the Dauntless Trials, guys. Alright guys, so the next run we are going to be taking a look at here is week 4, Ember Main Trials, 56-second group time coming from Cybermessiah. And I was actually expecting Cyber to be running a pike in this one, but we have 3 hammers, 1 repeater, coming out here. And one weird thing that I would say in this trial that I noticed was that they're using Antique Clip, and I don't know if it was known that Antique Clip was just not very good back then, because it doesn't actually do what the description says it does. It increases the Aether Charged Ammo effectiveness to 300% and not by 300%. You could see his teammates are using concussive salvo as well, and I don't believe the hammer interrupts with like the double tap heavy attacks was actually that bad back then. So interesting that they went for those. I guess you really only do need one
30-second park.
Landbreaker player, but if they were using Antique Clip, I feel like you would want more than one Landbreaker player. And right here, this attack would definitely have hit Cyber today. Like, look how close this Embermane is to him. Like, this attack would definitely have floored you today. And that probably would have ruined the run, but they keep going.
This is the run, guys.
So, interestingly enough, they're actually using Embermane lanterns on Embermane. I think there was a time where it only affected part damage to be using it. So guys, the next run we're going to be taking a look at is the 1 minute 57 second Chainblade solo time coming from Captain Maelstrom on week 5 Scrave. This was a top 10 finisher, and let's see what this has in store for us. So here he's using Stagger Pot. I'm not sure what the reasoning was for not using Aether Drive Tonic back in the day, but we saw it on Cybermessiah's trial too. I think he was running Stagger Pot, and I don't know if getting hit on the icicles was an intentional thing from Cap there, but we will see later in the video that he is going to, I think right here actually. Yeah, he gets hit by the Enrage intentionally here, so he is within this 20% bonus from Blitz Tonic range. So real 5-head strategies, pretty advanced stuff that he even still does today. He'll intentionally sacrifice Predator in a lot of cases to get that extra attack speed. He is definitely a fan of the extra attack speed strats. Yeah, right here, he's baiting the other interrupt while he pots up, and you can see that he's not using Reaper's Dance offensively. I don't remember if that was like a recent thing, like you couldn't use it offensively back then. I feel like you could though, but it just wasn't all that good to use offensively. Alright, but a 157 solo trial on the 5th week. Alright guys, next run we are going to be taking a look at is a 159 Scarn trial coming from Cybermessiah. So, weird thing here, we're actually not running Blitz Tonic. We are running Stagger, Aether Drive, and Frenzy. Oh, that Monka S right here, interrupting with Karma Breaker. Not something that's very often done in today's game. Oh, and the damage from Titan's Crash, dude. Titan's Crash used to do a lot more damage. It used to have like 4 of the secondary hits, and then it did a lot more damage on the primary hit too. It was just by far the superior special back then. And I'm kind of confused as to why Cyber gets hit by those pillars. I don't know if that was an intentional thing, because it just looks like he kind of walked into them. Alright, we got the repot coming here. Alright, and even though he gets hit right there, like, this is still a top 10 run pretty comfortably. And like, in today's game, you have to play perfectly to get a top 10 run. Doesn't really matter what week. Like, you can't get hit if you're running Pred. You just can't get hit, because losing Pred can lose you easily like 10 or so seconds, depending on where you lose it. So he actually, you can see how close the Scarn was to death here. It's like he heals, and then his Lantern Hold kills it before he does any other damage. So that actually could have been a few seconds faster even. But he did improve from a 309 to a 159, so he was pretty happy about this run overall, I would say. Alright, next run we're going to be taking a look at is a 130 Nasher trial from Shaanks. This is going to be the last trial of the first rotation, actually. So let's see what we've got cooking today. So he's still running Stagger Pot. It kind of makes a little bit of sense because of the extra damage that Titan's Crash did. But still, like, Aether Drive Tonic's definitely the way to go in today's game. And he goes for a clap, Junior. No Karma Breaker. Looking like Rain Chow Mein out here. I hope you see that, Rain. Well, you can see he doesn't get that stagger before the enrage. That would have actually been really big. But he's actually using Drask Strikers here. And not Shroud. Which is an interesting choice. I feel like Shroud definitely would have been a better time save. You know, 30% damage on the head versus 50% damage everywhere. That's definitely something you've got to consider. Like, even if you lose Pred for a little bit. Oh, the abort on that Karma Breaker, dude. Gets the repot going. I get he's definitely going for the interrupt here. Definitely taking a lot of time. Man, it just seems like the boops are so much easier. The baby clap even, man. I mean, my first top 100 run probably did not look any better. Well, there we go, a 130 beaver from Shaanks. I think that was day 1 of this week as well. Alright guys, and the last run we are going to be taking a look at here is a 56-second Scrave solo coming from Shaanks in the second rotation. Let's see how he does it here. We've got what looks to be the 5-head bait the interrupt strat. Oh, and he's going for the mantra building on the icicles. Very advanced strat, I would say, for the second rotation trials. And we've got the pylon coming out as well. Definitely a similar setup that you might see to today's Scrave trials. And you actually can't get staggers like that anymore. Like the behemoths gain a stagger shield when they enrage. He's just fighting through this tough hide, man. Actually taking damage there. Interesting. And he does have Pred on. So that's not a very clean taking damage sort of thing like we saw from Cap in his Scrave trial on the first rotation. I think his tonics are actually worn off by now. So yeah, yeah. But the Scrave, the burb dies. GG. Alright guys, that is going to be it from me today. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like on the video, and if you enjoy Dauntless content and are not yet subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. Here I post Dauntless content every single week. I've been Trevor, I go by the Mr. Trails. We will catch you guys next time.